Imam Muhammad's greatest lecture, we talk about 1976 in Philadelphia, remake the world. That's what we talk about all the time. That's the tip that we have to remain on. Remake the world. Now, America probably cannot be number one. Obama used to come up and say, we're still number one. Okay. America cannot be number one in production and all that. But America could be number one if it changes, if it heals itself. It can become number one in futurism. America could go totally green, not production. Maybe we don't need production for a while. But like Roosevelt used to have cleanup camps and conservation camps, right?
Right, yeah.
We'll have cleanup camps all over America. That's what we're going to put. Clean up America. If we start first, and if we get out in front of the Chinese and everybody else on this modern electricity, for solar energy and all of that, right? And we switch to that. See, we can't beat them in the old production. We sent our old production over there, and they got what we had. Okay? So what we do is, the world don't need too much production now, right? We got to clean up the whole, I know we talk about this almost every other week, but America heals itself and heal the world. Heal itself, all of our internal strife, that's a great goal, and heal the world. Clean up the earth. Heal the earth, yeah. That's what our message is right now. And that's why we didn't go back to California. We don't have to know why we didn't go back. But we had to go through this process here and now for it to make sense. In other words, Allah's in charge of all of this stuff. Okay. Healing America. Healing ourselves. And you can see from them demonstrations, if it's only 25% of the people, that's plenty. Yeah. That's plenty. That's more than enough. If we can get this message in the media, and we can spread this message to the public, it is a Quranic message. Technically, it's forgiveness. Technically, it's brotherhood. Technically, that Allah gave us the earth with balance, and we want to help take things back the way Allah gave it to us. In other words, is the world a better place since I've been here? Or when I leave, no, think about it. That's the message. Everybody should say this. Is the world a better place since I'm leaving? When I got here, how was it? Is it better? Was it worse? That gives each individual a lifelong mission. That it's always in the back of their mind that the world should be better when I leave than when I came. That from me, I can only do 0.0%, but is it better? Am I making a contribution to a better earth, a better humanity, an improved humanity? So really, the message that's our message to the American people right now. That's our message. The new America. The message of healing. And America needs freeing. Who does it need freeing from? From the Zionists. Now you think about it. Who's America beginning to wake up on? They begin to look around and said, we have 22 people a day dying. Suicides. For what? Afghanistan, for the Middle East, for all those wars. We didn't get nothing for it. No weapons of mass destruction, no this, no that, da-da-da-da-da, and we're dying for it. We've lost legs, arms, eyes, ears, and can you imagine the amount of people that the people and families, because for every soldier that's messed up, there's the whole family messed up.
Yeah.
It's the whole family messed up. And maybe an extended family, because their parents are always worried, their wife, their children, sometimes they beat the children, sometimes a kid make a noise, they pull out a gun and almost ready to shoot the poor kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That stuff is really happening. Those generals are saying to these politicians, F you guys, man. You didn't, look what you done did to my boys. That's the way they think. And old cracker generals and Negroes too. My boys. And you just treated them like SHIT. Okay. That means Donald Trump has been a great gift to America. He has. I mean, he's been a great gift to us. You got to remember, we're sitting here praying, oh Allah, just give us some buffoonery, just straight out pandemonium. We didn't use that word, but imagine, we got pandemonium. Can you imagine? Look at America like right now, when you watch the news. This is biblical, Quranic stuff. Don't worry about fire season will be here in a minute. In fact, I think they have more fire. I just looked at the statistics. Think about the world, man. Think about the world. Right now, it's pandemonium. And this great leader, I'm a wartime president stuff, this guy is the stupidest man that ever existed. And he got famous on a reality show, and he want to make the world his plaything. You're fired. Can you imagine? And he be firing people, boy. You can't get fired no quicker than just say. And then all the people that they love, this Fauci guy, he actually comes up, he come up after Don, and he said, Don said, we're doing, can you imagine? We're doing fine. Right now, he said it this morning.
Right, yeah.
We're doing fine. I don't know whether it's 135, something
I
like
think
that.
they were saying, what, 15,000 cases down in Florida? New cases that popped up one day.
No, I hate to see them maps with red on it,
right.
And these are big states, California, Florida, good God Almighty. I mean,
everything's fine.
this is getting into the range of Spanish flu type stuff. It's getting into if this stuff, and then now, old Doc said that this is part of the first wave. No. He said, no, this is not the second wave.
Right.
This is not the winter wave that we got. This, when it was going down a few weeks ago, we had our mask on. When Don told, can you imagine? He told everybody, open up and look at the numbers. That guy is killing off people by the zillions. I mean, so really, this man will go down so far as the biggest crackpot ever to grace the White House. But he also comes out as a stepping stone, as a Salvador, as a savior to the American people by showing them how bad things are getting. If you listen to people like that. You got to remember what he blew. The world If he would have played the cards right, he could have united the white folks that like him and all them old blacks and Mexicans and all that. He could have turned that thing if he'd have played it smooth and smart. That's what he was trying to do. He could have pulled that off. He blew that. Just think of the blessing, so nobody can use that for the next 50 years or so, if we hear that wrong. Nobody can use that again, because he blew it. He blew the military. So now, the healing process. Now this is, I believe, what our mission has always been, is this healing process. I'll get into it later, but that'll be what our next lecture will be about the healing process in America, about how we can actually go through the process of healing America. Now remember, when we're talking about healing America, we're talking about healing all of America. Because remember, all the things that we talk about, the ability to overlook each other's faults and ability to forgive people for what happened in the past. It's okay, forget it. Are you justified in being? You're justified. Okay, it's fine. But we can't go over here if we drag that with us. That's okay. The black nationalists ain't gonna want to hear that. The crybabies are not gonna hear it. They're gonna be back there. They're gonna sit there at the 40 acres and a mule, and they're gonna whoop that mule till he dies of old age. Because they won't be able to let go. Think of a marriage of people trying to go to revive, renew, restore their relationship. Suppose every time you get 2 steps this way, you get into an argument about, you did this to me, you did that to me, right way back when. And what they did is true, but you'll never get over there. You'll never get over there, because you can't change that what you did. But you can write your history. This is what we want. Now, this is what we've been meaning by writing our own history for America. So, call America to the best in their history and the best of where we want to go. The Quran says, we would judge you by the best of your deeds. It actually said that. The best of your deeds. So that means whatever you did before, you got time to start putting some good stuff on this side with an individual and with the whole nation. So we have a choice of what we're going to try to do, and that's the choice we take. We take the good choice. And remember, we have been talking about alliances with good people. We have been talking about there's 10 to 15% good people in the FBI. Well, that's 10 or 15 good people and percentage in the Army, in the Air Force. And the more people see all of that, when you reach out to people, you reach out to the best in people. You can go in and in most cases, you can make more money by misleading the people, bringing the worst out of them. You can. But we have a choice. So we're going to go for the best. That's our choice. Anybody that come around us, we're going to tell them, well, yeah, our choice is to bring the best out of the people. What happened, what you can see back, you're not a better historian than we are. We can relate all of that stuff better than you. But over there, do you see clear water or muddy water? Do you see acid rain, or fresh rain? You know what I mean? Do you see forest fires burning up everything? Or do you see a green, lush pasture land? What do you see? Right? Do you see snow-capped mountains or do you see barren wastelands? Right? So the stuff about our picture of the future, we down with that. We believe whatever we see, that's what we ought to work toward. Okay, let me see if we missed anything. We talked about how much time and focus and resources the government have used on us. Forget it. If they don't know who we are by now, that's too bad. But I always have felt from way back there's two groups of people. In our case, one, let's kill the nigga, and the other saying, well, something else. And I think we're tipping the balance on the other side. You see what I mean? I think we're tipping the balance on the other side. Okay. The last thing I want to close on, or one of the last things, is what you're going to use and how you're going to use it. Remember, I always talk about that my father was born in 1900. So I grew up learning how they dealt with white people down in the country. Their attitude and everything. And that means all of my father's friends, they were that age, and they had to be special Negroes to know how to get what they needed and wanted, right? In a system that was designed to keep them dumb, broke, and penniless. And so I learned that. But also I learned the Malcolm stuff and black nationalism. And when we got a chance, we instituted it right there in Oakland. And I would say we were successful. And everybody else that was there would say the same thing. Because it was the only, you gotta remember, we were in our early and middle 20s. When I left America, I was 26 years old. That's at the end of that spree. I was 26 when I left. So that means 21, 22, 23, 25, 24 might have been one of the high points, 20. That's when we was doing all of this stuff. I mean, it's almost a kid, still nursing almost. So if we can do that then, and then the next stage is when we all get Africanized and South Americanized. Technically, you're getting humanized and being able to put the whole human history into a place. Now you can make everything fit. Right. Then you come to Islam. So once Abdul Malik and I in Oakland was arrested for not having an ID, we was getting ready to go run. Actually, the police wanted to arrest us. Abdul Malik wanted us to be arrested together so he could monitor my response. You know, arrest us. So I just, as normal. So we arrested and we went down to the jail and they let us out. We just walked through the jail and back. So while we was on the way down to the jail, I started talking to the police, and I looked at his name, Michael something or other. So I know he's a white boy, so Michael is Irish, generally. So how do you feel about the IRA? He's first Irish Republican Army. And so Abdul Malik that says, you know, you can calm the police, but you have the ability to calm these people down anytime you want. So I didn't say it, I know. You know, all I got to do is look at them, and I can go back 100 years. I can do that because I wasn't stupid like everybody else, not paying attention. Those old Negroes had to have something special just to get to where they got. They had to study their mentality and study their thinking. We can apply that even now. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. This dreamland that we're talking about, somewhere over the rainbow, all that type of talk, that's real. That's real because it's possible. It's not real right now. Maybe it can be real with an individual. For instance, when we talk about contentment and all of that, that's true. That's absolutely true. What we're talking about is not for personal gain, but for community gain and to please Allah. When you get that way, you can become very forgiving because Allah and all that stuff. You know, if I talk to people about the so-called, they would say that was a very painful life. And I looked at it, it wasn't painful. Little stuff like I was talking about the white man running us around the yard 5 times a day. Right. And then you get at 4 o'clock in the morning, he throw water in there. And then you have to wipe it up with a little rag, a little hand rag. You got to be there. You can't just, and a brush to scrub the walls. And then the rest of the day you're going around on your knees and hands with little pieces of blankets buffing the floor in a line. That's what you're doing all the time. You're in an adjustment center. You know, and the police busting you upside the head and all of that all the time. And then the psychological, and then the emotional things that they put on you, you can only imagine. And Allah bring you through it. Like, you know, I don't blame all the people that do what they do. You know, I don't blame them for being what they are. You know why? Hell, that's what they didn't sign up to fix the world, to change the world, or they didn't sign up for that. And it scares them to death. You know, I look at my family, different families,